Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are. Remember, you have greatness inside of you. Welcome back to another video series of the NHL Playoff 2022 with the Hockey Coach, your coach friendship for the Hockey Nation live show. This video is all about between the St. Louis Blues versus the Minnesota Wild. Yes, this series is going to be really wild. Don't go nowhere. I'm going to give you everything you need to know, the stat, the profile, information about the update, injuries, and of course, at the end, I'm going to give you my prediction between the Blues and the Wild. But before we start, we invite you, don't forget, please, to click on the likes that will helping us. And then, of course, tell me what is your prediction between the Blues and the Wild. Let's dive in and talking about all the information you need to know. First of all, the first game is going to be May 2nd, Monday night at 9:30 Eastern Time at the XL Energy Ring in Minnesota. They're going to host the Blues. For the Blues, this year they finished third in the Central Division. They are 49-22-11. The last 10 games, they are 7-2-1. They lost the last two games, and they are 26-10-5 at home, 23-12-6 on the road. Finally, plus 69 differential goal. For the Wild, they have 53-22-7. They finished second in the Central behind the Colorado. The last 10 games, this team is on fire. 8-1-1 differential, plus 59. And finally, at home, they are 31-8-2. And on the road, 22-14-5. Here we go, the power play. The Blues are number 2 in NHL at 27.0 behind the Toronto Maple Leafs, while are 18 at 20.5. The penalty kill, the Blues are 84.1 versus 76.5 for the Wild. The goals for both teams score a lot of goals, 3.77 for the Blues versus 3.72 for the Wild. The goal again, 2.91 for the Blues, 3.04 for the Wild. The shot for the Wild shot a lot of time at 35 versus 29.7 for the Blues. The face-off, the advantage the Blues at 14 ranking in NHL versus 27 for the Wild. The block shot, pretty even. Both are a little bit 11 for the Blues and 13 for the Wild. The hit per game, per 60 minutes, 20.01 for the Blues versus 22.17 for the Wild. Finally, the giveaway puck away per 60 minutes, both were really good. 7.64 only for the Blues and better for the Wild at 6.46 per game of 60 minutes for the Wild. Let's move on for the next, what you need to know about this. First of all, the Blues dominate the series 3-0 versus the Wild. 6-5, 4-3, and 6-5 also. They score a lot of goals between them. Now, the goaltending situation, the Blues, what about Ville Husso? He become the number one goaltender, still the job at the Bennington. He have 25 W, 2.56, .919 goal again, average save percentage. The Bennington struggled this year, 3.13 only at save percentage at .90. Really bad year for Bennington. For the Wild, listen, they trade for Marc-Andre Fleury. This is at the trade deadline. They have also Talbot. Talbot have an amazing great year. 32, 12, 4, 2.77 point save percentage at 911. Fleury is at 2.90 at save percentage at 908. This tandem or duo are excellent for the Wild for sure. The leader of the point for the St. Louis, Tarasenko, Kaprizov with 108 points this season. A great year for Kaprizov. Honestly, have also 47 goals and 61 assists, elite on each category for the Wild. For the St. Louis Blues, Tarasenko have 34 goals, and then Robert Thomas have a great year with the Blues with 57 assists. During that time, you can see below this graphic, I just mentioned to you, you can look for the team categories where they dominate on different categories. So take a time to watching this. I'm going to disappear to give you a better chance to read more about the strength for the Blues. For me, it's not only the first line over there because they have more behind that. They have a lot of different things behind that first line. I'm talking about not only Thomas Buchnov and Tarasenko, they have Perron, they have O'Reilly, Brennan Shan, Brandon Saad. That team is really deep behind that. Experience as a team, they've been there before, they know what it takes. They won the Stanley Cup a couple years ago. Some of them was with that team. So it's really deep experience-wise. And definitely, they have a really good face-off when you have also Rand O'Reilly as a face-off man, and that's give you a better advantage. For the Wild, their strength, first line, the Armin, the Kaprizov, and the Zuccarello, they completely dominate that team for sure. For that team, of course, you have other players behind them. Their depth of the third line, Eriksson, Foligno, and Gradley, where he can be also not only forechecker and physical, but he can score. So that's another great advantage for the Wild. Finally, they play the old school style where you talk about culture, but they play forechecking. They play hard. They play the physical. They can close the gap. They can play the trap. It's a really old school style, and he fit well with the coach Dean Avison. Now, what is concern for the St. Louis Blues? The goaltender experience. Uso never been there. Binnington did, but really Uso is the number one right now. He never been in that situation. How he's going to react, we don't know. The good thing, in case he struggled, but Binnington can maybe step up behind him, and we'll see what happens. We saw this before, the Matt Murray with Fleury in the past. We see a couple of teams struggle. The number one in the backup came back, and then the laner with Fleury before. And you can see those kind of situations. Now, the no scorer, when I said about this, is I'm talking about they need more, they score more goal at the right, like a power play example. They need to have that kind of offensive to compete with the Wild if they want to win. On the flip side, the concern about the Wild is the penalties. They are physical, but at some point they have to be sure they can handle the Blues, their power play. So they cannot be in the penalty box because the Blues have a really strong power play. They cannot be in the penalty box. You have to be careful for that one concern for the Wild. Finally, no quarterback D. It's a team concept as the quarterback. They have Tomba over there. They have Spurgeon over there. They have Kolikowski can carry on that. They don't have like a Letank or John Carlson, only one D. But it's more like a core. And they have experience as the D with Jordy Ben and also Merrill. But again, they need to be sure Tomba Spurgeon can sharing as a duo for the quarterback defenseman. Now, this is my prediction for this series, guy. This could be the one way to another way. The only thing I know is going to be at the limit. And I select the St. Louis Blues to win that series in 7. But my heart is also with the Wild. They're going to have a lot of fans disappointed, crying with tears at the end of this series. It's not going to be one way. It's going to be to the end. We'll see. But I still think the St. Louis Blues is going to win that series. Let's move on now for the next graphic, and I'm talking about different graphic like we do all the time. Give you different categories, who's dominate, who is better. You can see that about that. The power play for the Blues better, and take a time, pause the video, look about this, and check about who is dominate at different categories. The next one I want to talk about is the offense shooting compare. Pretty even, you can see both ways on different categories. That give a, like I said, this series is going to be so to the end for sure. The defense, goaltending compare. You can see that's different between the Minnesota a little bit dominate on goal again and the XGA, but the Blues dominate on GS, AX on the PK. That's the reason why they are pretty even. Finally, the St. Louis Blues, the play driving compare. Pretty even, a little bit advantage the Wild overall on goal 4. Again, the X goal again. I want to give you a little bit more information about the season stat. I love those from Atlantic. Dom does a great job. I love to take a time to read this. The season start. I give you an idea what he did the last month. They give you an idea what he did during the season. Compare both and give you a great asset of who they are. The roster breakdown, line by line. Who is better advantage, who a little bit better. Kaprizov is really the best player on this series for me at that moment. But maybe the balance of the St. Louis is going to helping them, and you have to go all the way. The first top 9 player forward for both teams are excellent. Then the defenseman player, you have to look about this also and give you an idea. Just this series, guys, is going to be to the end for sure. Let's dive in a little bit more, give you a little fun information about fun players. Kaprizov and Fiala dominate on offensive for the Wild. The GSVA give you an idea who they are, and the value market just give you an idea what they are underpaid for what they produce with the projected stat 2021 and the pace they are for 2022. That give you an idea what they did, honestly, for the Wild. Let's dive in now for the Blues. I'm talking about the comparison between Joel Eriksson, AK, versus the Ryan O'Reilly. They are pretty even. They play the same style. They produce great, and they are really big assets for both teams. Maybe the one that have a better series over another one could be the one that the team is going to win at the end. Finally, the last one is about the St. Louis Blues defense. Justin Falk have a great year so far, and Colton Parayko is really one, the big physical guy, the big guy, 6'6", can carry on that team, and the St. Louis Blues need both of them if they want to win the series against the Minnesota Wild this year. Look, guys, this series is going to be so much great to watch. It's going to be physical. It's going to be amazing. You're going to love the series. I believe this is the series to watch on the Western Conference this year. And again, obviously, one of two is going to be eliminated, and it is what it is, right? So I select the St. Louis Blues to win in 7 that series. But again, I could be wrong. For me, hope we can go all the way to the 7th, because every game is going to be a war for sure. Again, thank you so much, everybody, to watching another video with the hockey coach, your coach friendship for the Hockey Nation Live Show. But before we leave, we want to remind you one more thing. You have greatness inside of you. Have a blessing day, everybody.